Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we will be returning to the battle arena. This week in the battle arena, we will have a Komodo dragon facing off against a spotted hyena. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. Let's start by taking a look at the spotted hyena. Size. Hyenas are typically 4 to 5 feet in length at a height of around 3 feet and weighing in at 88 to 190 pounds. Female hyenas are typically larger than males and lead clans, which can be 60 to 90 hyenas in strength. Though for our fight we will be using one large female versus the dragon. Strength. Hyenas are powerful predators with a bone-crushing bite force of around 1100 psi, exceeding that of lions and tigers. They use this bone-crushing bite force to literally crush bones and then eat the bone marrow within. Speed. Spotted hyenas have a top speed of between 37 and 40 miles per hour. They can also maintain this speed with some endurance, at least longer than lions can due to higher cardiovascular properties. However, they still cannot maintain their top speed as long as more canine-like predators such as wolves or African wild dogs. Stealth. Hyenas are reasonably stealthy animals, being able to hunt on their own or in small groups with coordinated ambush tactics. They are also known to simply scavenge, but this doesn't detract from their stealth score. Weapons and armor. For weapons, hyenas have their bite force coupled with canines that can be 6 to 7 millimeters long. These are their primary weapons as they don't utilize their claws. In groups, they also rely on teamwork and intelligence, but our lone hyena, while able to use her intelligence, will not be able to factor teamwork into this fight. A hyena's armor consists of thick hide and a particularly durable rump that helps protect them from claws and teeth of other predators when they get attacked from behind. They also have sturdy skeletons, especially around their skulls, to limit the blunt impacts of the hooves of their prey. So how does the largest living lizard, the Komodo dragon, stack up? Size. Adult males typically grow about 8.5 feet long and weigh 175 to 200 pounds. Larger individuals have been recorded as much as 10 feet and over 300 pounds. For our fight, we will use an 8.5 foot long and 210 pound individual. Strength. Komodo dragon's bite force is around 500 to 600 psi, or in their case around 39 newtons. This bite force isn't particularly strong. In fact, it's on the weaker side. However, they don't rely on a crushing bite force. Instead, they usually bite and tear with their serrated teeth, for which their more modest bite force works well with their highly kinetic skulls. In addition, they have powerful tails that can whip and are known to grapple with each other in powerful, often bloody conflicts. Speed. Komodo dragons have a top speed of between 10 and 13 miles per hour. They have lower stamina and can't maintain these speeds for very long. Stealth. Due to their lower stamina, Komodo dragons rely heavily on stealth while hunting, laying low in the grass or other foliage until prey gets close when they can burst out and attack. Weapons and armor. In terms of weapons, the Komodo dragon has around 60 serrated teeth that they use with their bite force to shred flesh and tear off chunks of meat. These teeth also have a few potent secrets, including an anticoagulant venom, or a venom that prevents blood clotting. This venom is also believed to help activate shock proteins, further weakening prey. Their mouth is also rich in bacteria, which can go into an open wound and infect it. However, the actual effectiveness of this bacteria is debated by scientists as it is part if it actually plays a role. This allows them to hunt prey many times their size, including buffalo. They also have claws that are 2 inches long along their outside curve, and these powerful claws, usually for digging or climbing trees when they're younger, but can do serious damage when grappling. For armor, the Komodo dragon has its size, a reasonably durable skeleton, and thick scales which operate sort of like a chainmail in order to protect itself from more slashing or puncturing bites. So those are our two competitors, but who wins? Let's find out. Our arena for this fight will be an African savanna with denser foliage than normal to allow the Komodo dragon to utilize its stealth. Our Komodo dragon is lying near a bush using the sun to warm itself. Nearby, our lone hyena wanders, looking for any prey she can kill on her own, hunger starting to take hold. She has been largely unsuccessful. Eventually, our lizard picks up her scent on its forked tongue and begins to move closer. Eventually, he sees the hyena and he lays down in the grass waiting. She can hear the movement, but not see its source, and as she moves over to investigate, she is stalking low, ready to burst forth with speed in case prey is involved. The dragon charges forward with a mouth agape. However, the much faster hyena is able to dodge. Seeing a lizard is a welcome relief, even if a big one, as she prepares to try and work her way around the size and kill it and get herself a meal. As she charges, the lizard turns, keeping her at bay. This dance of charging and turning continues for several minutes. Suddenly, she sees an opening and charges, grabbing hold of the back leg and crunching down. The bone-crushing bite force makes short work of the lizard's leg, snapping it. However, as she struggles to bite down more, the lizard again whips around and manages to get a bite on her upper thigh, the serrated teeth slicing easily. The thick hide near her rump limits the depth of these wounds, but she does begin bleeding, and with the dragon's venom, that won't stop anytime soon. This dance begins again, circling and protecting, both of them bleeding the entire time. The hyena manages to land a bite at the end of the tail, biting through it before being whipped in the face by the meatier part of the tail. This stings greatly, but doesn't cause any serious damage to the hyena's thick skull. Eventually, the hyena slows down to try and lick its wound, confused as to why it's still bleeding, the shock also starting to slow it down. Normally, the dragon would lunge, but with its injured leg, it lacks the speed to do so right now. Instead, it lays there and waits, its venom working its way deeper into the hyena. The hyena still hasn't moved and is now sitting in a pool of its own blood, in some semblance of shock. The dragon then stands up and walks towards the hyena. The injured hyena is slow to notice, and it gets bit again before it can react, this time on the upper armpit. This bite is deeper and instantly begins to bleed more profusely. The injured hyena runs from the lizard, deciding this hunt is not worth the reward. The lizard, ever patient, begins flicking its tongue and tracking the much faster hyena. Late the next day, the dragon finds the hyena's corpse, partially eaten after it succumbed to the venom. The dragon then begins to eat. Komodo dragon wins. I will start off with this preface with a statement that I had a little bias here. I love Komodo dragons. However, I do not think this scenario is unrealistic either. The dragon's primary hunting strategy for larger game is to bite, tear, and wait, which is exactly what it did here. A lone hyena has a more dangerous bite and is faster than a dragon, but all it takes is one bite for the venom to start working. The Komodo dragon sustained more serious bites and more numerous ones, losing part of its tail and breaking a leg. However, the slow working of this venom and the serrated teeth keeping the blood flowing and causing shock meant that after the first bite, every second the fight continued, the fight would begin to swing towards the Komodo dragon more and more. The hyena was not used to a bite like this and decided to wait on hunting and letting its guard down, trying to heal the wound, and ended up getting bit again, much more seriously. A lone hyena definitely could win this fight, but it would need to protect itself better and really go after the dragon, ending the fight as quickly as possible. This time, however, the Komodo dragon won. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to suggest any future fights. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.